Abraham asifono makonemi papa uchinchi binum swa yakami eja anyone hintame umimopo na yamopo
Yeah, Damase, technical team. Mema obi biara akwaba ene enyumre so baby biara wo sheme. Ye do nyame ase se ene edwade yi so aye ne pe aye na dom. Health ministry program yi so yesan so etwaso. Munyina munim ya to ne din 1 week to wellness, biblical perspective to health. Many aje meda obi biara se na menam sa akwenye so de mo obi biara kwaba enyumre so waba NAGSDA Central Zone Health Ministry Program yi eso mesan so afasa akwenye so na mama sorry ahora ye wo NAGSDA Central Zone yi so akwaba ye na ye nim ye wo Washington, First Nova, Woodbridge, Philadelphia, North Carolina, Ebenezer, New Life, British Columbia, and a Calgary, Edmonton. Yeda onyamia se. Meniji pi baby biara obia ehwe me wa wabeka ho a. Wonso wo hwe me baby biara wo ewo US. Ana wiase afa na nyina baby biara wo a hem titiru Ghana. Se wo hwe me a ye ni ajepa se ye dwumadie yi so waba abeka ho amano ACP AC eta. Se ne mu nyina munim no na watri ye wo dwumadie sonko a ye de emam enu an ye hyase ne nenso ye wo topics sonko a se de bia wo ye wadwe se ubeba ha around this time a ubenya suahunu bi every topics ahoro a ya hyehye na se ne amunim no ye key tester ye gina so e de aye dwumadie no ye hunu wo Jeremiah 33 verse 6 making kanchi miwia na makan ne brofo no o say hwe miara me de ade ani nro bechichire ni kroso na masawon yade na matue asudwie no nokre a ebroso ama won ne brofo ne pa na working kan a eno de eye me edeye brofo no New International Version o say nevertheless I will bring help and healing to it. I will heal my people and will let them enjoy abundant peace and security. And I'm also saying, yada unyankopon ase. Na mesanso akai will say, Jumedia yedi, the media channels ahoro bebre so etri a omoso ehwen. Ye wo Yonkodoradio, Hope Channel, Ghana, Otebo Media, Hope for Life, CB Radio, and na uko YouTube nso a bibi bia ye no eno so eba so ewo ehonom ansa na metwa so me paucho bibi biara wo bia bro komase ne kata wani na ye mo empire Ewrade Nyankopon yeda wase se na watwi watu asi ho ama health ministry department ese omunye program sonkui enfama wasafo Ewrade yeda wase se wa mayensa akwanyen papa enanwumre ye jadwumadi a ye be nyina hye wonsa ye de customer for hye wonsa ye de wona ebetie so be biara obi a wo hye wonsa Ewrade man konkon no emekan ye na fadwumadi enumum na bibia enkoso bokọ a ye nya problem biara ye da wasisi watie ye nim se bibia ewie mu dia ye de na ase a eni kabia ma ye da wasisi watie ye wadumuti amen Sabre mesre technical team na omo amaye enyon Amen. Yedamo asipa sabre ebre edru se ye ne ye be yi ye kasama for no achre. Na edru ase ne mu nyina munim no yan kasa ye papa ye elder Dr. Che Jemfi Ole Foundation ne my oni ye sua bibi efa developing a healthy lifestyle. You know that minye free mu or say our health is our wealth. Na enen so ye kasama for no so ono so e ba betwa so se ne yedi kanka no na what you know health department for omo ewo program so kopi e de emamo na ne de nyankopon nam ne so a obekye no ono so oye family man to say the radio channel ono so ye family man sa you see behind every successful man is a woman. Yes, waware omo wo emema too omo san so ewo oba eba ko na de obekasa no or doctorate degree from Loma Linda University. Cecilia Menoka say, or ye clinical director for Athletic and Therapeutic Institute, ATI, ewa Laurel, Maryland, ewo ye krom heya USA. Wasanso a therapeutic pain specialist onye free EIM and Purdue University. Wasanso hold vestibular rehabilitation specialist certification and also Onya Efri American Institute of Balance. Osanso ewo nimdie ewo functional standards for optimal aging expert. Na the chance so kra ne say ye central zone NAGSDA on ye health ministries leader. Osanso eye personal ministry secretary ewo Washington Ghanaian SDA. Ene meni aje ahobrasie mu ese me introduce to mu speaker no eye Dr. Benjamin Opoku Bediako. Ne nejumedi ode be my watu ne din say becoming more physically active. Eti mesro be bibia obia wo no bre wo komase ne fa mpaye ta na chi. E bra technical team e be my theme song no. Omo to theme song ni wi a de mo bete ne nka no enye obi biara say yankasa ye doctor wo ye Health Ministries leader, Dr. Benjamin Opoku Bediako.
Good evening. Baby, we're joining us a free piano. Once again, thank you so much, Mrs. Baden, for such a wonderful thing. Yeah, better when Yanko Pons was said, and never boy home by now. 1 week to wellness, Jumadia ye dino, and ne, and so ye twaso, and ne ye twaso, 1 week to wellness, biblical perspective to health. Na, and right, Yame Adum, Dr. Chage and Fi Edianim, LA Foundation, Emma, come. And right, what say Yema who said, how do we develop a healthy lifestyle? Na enra ade ba ko kan na me pick it from no was said you need to start your day with God. If we want to have better healthy lifestyle, there's no better way to start than to dedicate our lives at the beginning of the day. We're going to start and end with God on every day. Yeah, can say those are some of the things that pick up in kakra. And yeah, the swinty and Dr. Jemfima who said we need to be very intentional. Say ebaya pomodia as I say then yes shada I can cast me kind of say see ma ye daho and I said boapayo ye boapayo. The bonnie, but we de a buy a pomodia. We need to be a see a may need da hone ya boapayo. Say a boa papa my pomodina SCP. Na and no, Dr. Jeffrey Maesua who said there are other what we call social determinants of health. New may be a boa my pomodina it me then SCP. Na ene nioma na obobo so enra no lay foundation kama maye no ene nyame aye yadom ye baba betwa so na ene ade na ye baba betwa so ye baba can say developing physical. How do we ekwan ben so let me say Dr. Jeffrey can one of the things said physical activity one of the social determinants of health and nioma ema ya pom within CP esitano. Say ye physically active. One of them. Nene ye baba be zoom in. Na ye hu. Kwaya na say here be here. Say yetimi ye den physically active. It's ne baby I will join ye free biano. And no asem ne ye baby suya becoming more physically active. And what the ne baby suya. Na ya bompa ye se ne di kan no this week. Niye can say ye fire Bible no na ye be ye trust him na. And me say ofa your memory text and they said Mrs. Baden come no ye hunu Jeremiah 33 verse 6 no or can I say me or say behold I will bring it health and cure and I will cure them and I will reveal unto them the abundance of peace and truth. Or say she na mede apomodin any ayaresa na ede ebremo na mesamo yare na mesremo eden asumdue ne eden nokore emusuo onyankopon pese ode asumdue ene nokore a abusu epese ode ba wo fie na question say menu mienu ye bi say ho say sa apomodin healing, cure. Now, are you ready for it? Are you ready to put up those things? Are you ready to implement those? This week, and only your memory text. Now, my this disclaimer. My first disclaimer, my person be said, "Obi bisa say, ye health program. Na adenti na ye dinya mesem eba. Nenra obi bisa question kama bisa say yes." Education is one of the things that also is one of the determinants of our health. No be besides saying, well, who will be our doctor and Zunana Pomo didn't anymore. Then who said, Senyango pon anymore. Hey, wait, Marco school no crack doing your meaning. It will not amount to anything. Enti E.G. White can't say, but now, yes, you per se, ye they say, I dream and never in your and say, yes. God has not called us into medical missionary work just to make healthy sinners. Onyankopon fa yemma say yemra yenya pomodin nyenya aboneyefo ayewa ahode. No. Nyankopon pese menewo ye akristofo ayewa ahode. Na se there be ye gina baby ne catcher say God is good. Yenya ahode ntimi de atiama catcher obi say God is good. Because many ni say obetima catcher obi say God is good. Ebra de bia wo yare. Untimi catcher obi say God is good. Ebra de bia na wo si apene. You cannot continue to tell people God is good when you're constantly getting sick, when you have one issue or the other. But onyankopon enam dom so any the conscience so am so many principles by which we can live. And ye disclaimer and say this week in nyina ye ka pomode ho nsem, but nenso you have a biblical twist to it. And only your disclaimer, and we cannot assure you, say, and you man just from health perspective, but also you're going to get a biblical twist to it. And then your person would share what dreams are. Now, there were two expectations I say at the end of it in your person. Now, two expectations, and then I said, it is our expectation, say, at the end of this presentation, participants will be motivated to make at least 2 lifestyle changes and to present their bodies as a living and acceptable sacrifice to God. And say, at the end of this week, Nioma wa problem Nioma bienu bi ese wutimi eden esesa. Enti yakeka koni nyina bisa ho se Nioma bienu ben ena yetimi obetimi asesa. Yesu ade yi. Nioma bienu ben na obetimi asesa at the end of this week. Enti wotena ho de ye dwen ho nkakrakra enra ye hu some of the coping things, some of the lifestyle changes I say ye ba ene ye ka physical things bisa say emu de he ena wo ye den wo ye wadwen say by the end of the week opese osesa na yet waso no me pese me kai be free E.G. White woman watu ne din counsels on diet and foods. Now I hope say me PowerPoint no me PowerPoint no because me pese mo follow edisiana ye kono or say all our habits, taste and inclinations must be educated in harmony with the laws of life and health. By this means, we may secure the best physical conditions and have mental clearness to discern between evil and good. Now, I didn't question woman in your part, I catch and say, Emra, yeah, didn't say, ye pesi ye di onyankopon eti. As I say, yesu, ye habits, ye taste, ye kono, any ye inclination, nyoma ye di hono. Esesi yesua ho ehho ade se na be ya ene ye pomodin ne besisi animu ne animu osisi yetimi yesa ene ne yebeboa ne yebema ne se ebema ye pomodin ye physical health ene ya dream tie me se Dr. Sheikh say mental health, and this week Rebecca was it's also part of it. Ebema ye the mental clarity and then no the bema ye hu ensronsono ya edam papa ene bonintem. And when our mental faculties are clouded with diseases and sickness, yentimi enmi enya the clarity yehiano. And until this week, ye dear si wona ye pese ya pomodini ACP. Send ye be ya papa ne boni mun sunsans en sunsuni edem ye betimi ye hu. Na enam sa sunti na ye hu sa ade we ni nti no. Enne ye be say who say, what is the state of our health? And why you be? And then what we are doing is the root cause versus changing, like chasing symptoms. And that's all by your health care. Most of the nearby you only be brain, I say symptoms near chasing. Nti obi ba ne kotodwe ya ne ya ne hanom ya ne ya. Most times no nioma ade kro na ama ne kotodwe ne sisi ne we say but ye hu and the symptoms in the HAC. So by US hanom statistics akra menya within 2015 over $3 billion has been spent. Chrome ha medical insurance a big deal. Now or therefore be a friend said John Travis or can't say, but see, diseases and symptoms are the body, mind, spirit attempt to solve a problem. And Pepe no, a ye yare eba yosono, a ye be no quambia, any yarding, any ye spirit. A quambia or person or faso, and as you soon quambia or person or faso, no solve some of the problems I walk. Clinically, say pain and make one sema. Yebeka say pain is 100% produced by the brain in the body's response to a threat. And anytime your body ever go under a threat, you get pain, and the body try to find a way of solving it. Now, unfortunately, most of this body, mind, spirit attempt to solve a problem, just because of your lifestyle. Ya braba ye woman and no na masa problems ye be aba. And then heart diseases, cancer, diabetes. Anyway, saying sanyama we nyina ye ka say it has come because of our lifestyle. Nenra yesua bi. Nene ye ka the physical part. Na E.G. White a cambium or say now or the F1 asema sa the scientist called John Travis kan no or the fuaso say there's a good correlation between sometimes some of the things science says any a dim concept neoma or diamaye. Now can cancers on diet and food or can say the majority of diseases which the human family have been and still are suffering under, they are created by ignorance of their own organic laws. Or say me and pen no yare any new may be a year suffer from no. John Travis say your body mind, body and spirit attempt of solving a problem. Now E.G. White can say san nyoma bano body, mind, spirit attempt of solving a problem. It is coming because many umbi no bebrene and bebrene ye buye niegu mra a boy apomodin hoba. Emra nyankopon de aba a boy apomodin hoba. A lot of us yatwatchene na enam say yatwasen or see they seem indifferent in regard to the matter of health. Yemu bibi yafa ye ho say emfa me ho yapomodin no emfa ye ho, so we seem indifferent to the matter. See a couple modern asema oh we atiabre, and I know say a lot of us are on this platform oh nyoma can atiabre. But the question now, me person be so say, and new man what's your bread? How many of them have you implemented? And until this week, yeah, can say by the end of the week, and your person will make a decisive attempt, say at least 2 things. And new man be no obasisa. Or see, they seem indifferent to the matter of health and work perseveringly to tear themselves to pieces. Or see, you must be arguing say yemfa na ya tete into pieces. Or see, when broken down and debilitated in body and mind, send for the doctor and drag themselves to death. Or see yes and fire hona near say near didi near nom near ye body ni sa afe de ye dru be afe na doctor for ni ye hu am doctor mama dro na ye wi na ya no madro na so de kum ye ho. E.G. White in the Casa Assembly. Just because say ye mubi I been said we are indifferent when it comes to our health. And fire home. It is an Dr. Chekan, ye big dear Bianesa. Ubeka say will be at the will. I tell you will be at the will. Mena nabaku e will ye. Because I don't pay devotion. Upon a day, you call ye kuboni prunanity. The Bible, it will be a no. All death are not the same. I've had people at my home here well-to-do, made thousands of dollars on mobile side, but they could not reach out. And so, but they are so sick. It's a woman to me pension and no kuomo. Will be a no. And to brain, this indifference is killing us. Now, we are now your body needs to see after the na drone. Ye be a drone. I had to say breakfast. Ye a good plate is what would dear out me main. I didn't conscious myself all canon. Na yet was no. And there be so many things I can't was him. Wait, from and no monsa and smoke. Adriane fa the cholesterol ni we say no except back form or blood pressure so but except with your good social network we are convening now ways you put there. I know say that is not even a problem. Now for me, no man can say minimize or effort in any of these. But the question I am beside say, which comes first? Say me no monsa. Say me reduce my cholesterol. Say me reduce my diabetes, hypertension. We say sometimes people, which comes first? I like to say the chicken and the egg situation. First. Which comes first? Which of them and amount make the biggest difference to your health? And then may sell it at the biatro. Now, yeka cholesterol show me which of them? For instance, how many cholesterol do I need in a day? But your baby here maybe I make me screenshot this. Yeah, what be a friend said basal metabolic rate. Now a estimate or a minimum estimate of the amount of calories that your body needs. And what Dr. Che can say, I see a senior so I can't script a what labels a word diane or mama calorie intake, you know. And to be sound say, oh yeah, bema. That's what screenshotted this formula. At least every day how much calories are we here? So we take physical expenditure out. And so how many calories are we here? Oh, your body. So how many calories? Maybe someone say at the end within in a day, and then you will consume in a day. No, are you doing more than you need? Because and no let this answer so I would do any be brain ever. Now, yeah, cause no Mama showed some study be a year. Omu follow 10,000 Harvard alumni. Harvard University can say well, US. Now, Omu follow these 10,000 Harvard alumni for 12 years. Now, this particular intervention, I may come once a me or say 23%, you know, Omu lower Omu risk of death than those who didn't get this treatment. Omo taking this treatment, omo demo omo me lower omo also by 23%, which is very significant. Now, we say Edroben. Edrona was exercise, basically walking, mostly walking. For those of us who are Ghanaians, they are new to us. In fact, in one of the studies I made research on, one DiCaprio, one Italian beer or yes scientist. One of the things Omu said, Omu take Italians, Omu say Italians know Ednante pan. And there's some very nice evidence of that. Now, maybe some say, and Kagana for so the Enke Kananti and Kesunke Yadi. But now you move a bray, Yabakruma, we've been in the US, we're here, we just go like, hey, we're here to make money. Yes, you're here to make money, but not at the expense of your health. A lot of us are killing ourselves at the expense of health, and we have no time for our health to the point that we are making money, and I'm sorry to say this, we will not live enough to enjoy the sweat that we put in if we are not careful. We are breaking our backs, building mansions in Ghana and elsewhere, killing our families and going into so many things just to be able to live like the Johnsons. At the expense of our health. And basically, you know, Harvard alumni, 10,000 of them over 12 years, you know, those who mostly did just walking, you know, they were able to reduce their death by 23%. Now, this is what I see. Yemu bebrene, this is the cycle you come. Yeda, ni asore ni yako office. Anazi ya jumam, yako ya juma ya befie, ni abetine TV, ni ashe, ni asan abaha, ni asan ababeda, juma TV, da, juma TV, sa, ni didi in between. This is the cycle yemu bebreye. Na, sa cycle we, the asama brain. Na Ora be a friend said Professor Stephen Blair. Professor Stephen Blair, a public health expert of the Arnold School of Public Health, South Carolina. Now, omu study be a friend and say the aerobic center longitudinal study mostly is say cancer study now. And you say ye shen nipa bi na ye assume you follow over a period of years after omu subambi. Now omu fa nipa 50,000, a man member 50,000. And now follow over some years. Now follow over some years. They wanted to study what actually some of the things are a money paniwu. Now, this is what they came up with. Omo can say, what is the biggest attributable fraction? Now, attributable fraction, and you know, person can say, and neoma a risk factors a money pawu, diabetes, hypertension, smoking, drinking, high cholesterol, and all those neoma you can say a risk factors are a ma nye bia. Net say ye ya to so ye be sia mama no. Those risk factors no. Omo bisa omo say ye yi one of those risk factors ni free man. E mu de he pa nanka e contribute to your death to the point say ye yi no free mo a enke be ma ye wuo so aye den ate. Ewu a ye wu no ni we say no. What a shock no. Anyway say na yenya obituaries na yenya for young people no. Kwan ben so na nka risk factor ben pana enka ye yi free wa enka be ma ewu no swate. So that is the attributable fraction. Now this is what they did. In this area, risk factor ni be say obesity. Almost so yeah, yes, that is good. Smoking, good. Hypertension, ha. High cholesterol, ha. Diabetes, ha. But there's one be a wahano. No more besides say, ain't this an yama way in nano. A day mo pa and a wee free one, and I think yet me boy a home body woman, and Quebec tea ye woso. Over 50,000 men and women over here in the aerobic center longitudinal study, no one said cardiorespiratory fitness, and as the idea friend said, low fitness is the biggest contributor to death in our society. Low fitness. Yemu bebre se men kan se baby a woti bia no. Wo de opa, ye betimi pause 30 seconds. Yenye 30 seconds no within 30 seconds no. Yenhwe how many sit to stand. Say what trans no asore no within 30 seconds. How many of us are able to make 15 sit to stand in 30 seconds? I'll bet I can bet on it say about half of us on this platform no will not be able to make 15 sit to stand in 30 seconds. Clinically, that is one of the determinants of fitness. Basic ones. How many of us na yeti was see your time here home, you move your watch anyway, your time here home 15, you perceive 15 sit to stand in 30 seconds. How many of us are both wakumane bo periphery? The reason I say low fitness is the biggest contributor to death. But the funny thing is, how is it? And for me go through the study, I wasn't surprised because most time when people have low fitness or more obesity cholesterol, so more low fitness or more hypertension cholesterol, or more cholesterol level no cholesterol, or more diabetes no cholesterol. So we realize that low fitness becomes the basic denominator. Meaning say if people get their fitness level no go up, when some obesity the back of form, or more cholesterol the back of form, hypertension the back of form, diabetes in the back of form. Yeah, it was so. And yes, like I said, you know, the low fitness is the stronger predictor of death. Into me person me bisa on say, emra wo hai, o fitness level send it here. And then you were a draw for diabetes. You were draw for the hypertension. You were draw for anything. But we rarely see fitness thrown into the mix. Na yeba ye mo Ghana for put dia na eye kra areho. Most of us as Ghanaians, ye neighborhood cry, ye nante cry who neighborhood baby cry. We go through that loop cycle, no? Ye didi, ye kwa juma, ye buy better TV so and go through the near bar sorry near corner. Nothing else. We hardly throw anything fitness into our mix. Now, in one of the studies, we said, so be obese. Now on sign exercise, would you highway to the grave? Now, obia, even obese, not even onanti, and that's why I can say no onanti pono. They realize the negative consequences of obesity. So why I can say the negative consequences ne woman. Just by being able to kind of like walk or exercise, or like even do walking, you are able to ameliorate, like ultimately the negative consequences of obesity. So, until baby say, if this is what is happening, because like any medication, what is the dosage? What is the dosage? How much? How often? How intense? Me assure say when it comes to exercise, what take 30 minutes. Over and over again. 30 minutes. And with 30 minutes being active, you can realize all the benefits that you can come once. Now, say even class we need 30 minutes. Mama can't say we intro. In a recent study, they put in what they called digestive work. Nene, say one tea be crème free me one. Now they know person shots and now don't see me. I want to sell to you a draw your friend a digestive work. Now, digestive work is something you do for just about 10 to 15 minutes. Me person me tons I draw in mouth. To say Ghana ki to a draw a you trotro mene kejetiane a Accra la pass muno. Me person me tons I draw in mouth. 10 to 15 minutes, we call it digestive work. Now, in a study by Andrew Reynolds, our year postdoctoral research fellow at University of Otago in New Zealand, said, short post-meal walks, a friend said, digestive work was effective at lowering blood sugar after dinner than a single 45-minute walk taken at mid-morning and late in the afternoon. Nyon pattern said, so what did we especially like Numrediana? So what's me taking a break 10 to 15 minutes walker? Or more issues about diabetes. I mean say, Enra, Dr. J can the negative consequences. And if I want to quote him there, I'll say, diabetes here you're bonny. And for those of us in the clinic, and we've seen the negative effects of it. And for those of us who go into pain, if we have time near cut the negative effect on some of these sugar levels, on people's pain threshold, it will surprise you, the science behind it. Now, we say people who do just about 10 to 15 minutes after meals, especially, who they say, me and ne, a drone me person me Tom say. After at least who they are not and you read who did here 10 to 15 minutes, we call it digestive work. It is a new rule in the house, digestive work, 10 minutes after each meal. If you cannot do it after each meal, at least you will dinner there after each dinner, 10 to 15 minutes work. A mandatory will feel. Sadro and I'm person Tom. Say they saw the biggest differences with walking after dinner. Digestive work. Now, Obibe bisa say, I didn't see any yeka digestive work on one asem. Nesa who say, your body nana say the human digestive system, anytime be a ubedidino. Your body no wahono, your body ni nimampesie, and nim tacos, and nim fufu. Ni man say aduane wudi ye na carbohydrate, a protein, a minerals, vitamins. The animal no. Now most of your dinner those carbohydrates anyways, even the proteins, you know. The body converted those into a sugar called glucose. Now glucose is the primary source of energy for your binipediano. Intimijina make kasa anyway say, you know, may burn glucose to help me to be able to do those things. And after say we did who did we are may sure or sena nyame aduma Dr. Freda Beckham was into details. After say we did we are said duane na adaje say we convert into that glucose sugar na. Sa sugar ni stay our bloodstream. Umojanum no it stay na yewo ade a homo be a friend say insulin. Sa insulin e na boa na twe sa sugar no ekọ into cells no na o cells no use immediately and as a store for later. And no na say binom de no already na say honum na ye ma. I to say we call grocery shopping. Na me fa say on the counter na nyoma omo wo no ye ntonwie enti track na delivery track na ye dey ba no. Shelf no so ye ma enti ontimi deliver. Ye mu bebre diabetes, that's what happened. When the blood sugar or blood say according to cells, already the cells are saturated already. And insulin, either say the insulin is not working very well, and I say the cells are saturated. Say it means sugars in primogenum and cause cells into na camogenum, and then my diabetes never. Now. And no, and all these problems, heart disease, stroke, kidney disease, and some of these heart problems, neighbor. Excess, we say na excess glucose na form other plaques, the fat na lay on umoja drobena. Your friend said the lumen of the bloodstream, you know, we say the blood vessels, you know, na lay ho. Na all these problems are here can you na ye move forward, you know. And to be say, and how does that working, or for instance, digestive working, how does it help? When you first one say, your muscles na your one, and I say, yeah, na me your way. And you use glucose, no. And say you draw the sugar out of the circulation. And so it reduces amount of sugar floating around in the blood in any way. And another thing too, and I said, exercise stimulates the different peristalsis, which is the process by which digestive food move through the GI tract. So we fat say GI and answer yamna aduane famuna. Sa exercise no eboa emasa tract no it me dey move aduane need me move. In this one, anytime you exercise, you say, Sebio, and Ryan, Oko Jaw Nakra, it means my name a bantam. And my Bianna, when you could say Bianna and Shaw so. Because just that exercise in Buama, son, your money to me a day, a cost on them. And then ulcerative colitis, any those cancers, we say those are just because most people are sitting down to the point whereby. And I'm so much more into digestion and kosuye and aduane taumuyem na creating more problems. And nothing and made some digestive work amount. And you draw tatache proven and tested scientifically. Now, mamima another example. In another study on what they call the nurses' health study. Omu say a man nurses or move or more activity or mutimi 1 hour a week, 1 hour every week, 1 hour. Our mutimi a year exercise, you know. One of the things our mutimi and said they were able to reduce heart diseases by almost half. And the one who said, and yet ordinary people in nurses need other people so yare, doctors yare. Because sometimes we, the health professionals, we think that we are immune to it, but we are not. And in the nurses' health study, they realized that keep at least 1 hour, and it was 7 days in a week. You have 6 days. 1 hour. What you say more? Who say it is easy for you to make that 1 hour. They were able to reduce their heart diseases by half. So the question maybe I will say, what is your excuse? Another example, in 1990 in Japan, the Japanese government who said, a lot of these heart diseases anyway. So they talked to some of the companies, and one company what they decided to do, and then say, workers car. Now what they did was say, I can't no mercy, now this is what they realized. Less than 10 minutes, they had no effect. But between 11 to 20 minutes of walk to work, they were able to reduce hypertension by 12%. Over 21 minutes, reduce hypertension by 29%. And you want to say, so what shall see now we are digestive walk in 10 minutes. What's a bit of baby? One casa, person would be crying to get to at least 30 minutes each day. Digestive work, a drought attack, and a name to amount. Another example. In another study by one, when it comes to heart surgery, I said demonstrating one of the top notch. In one doctor, be a friend and say Rainer Humbert. Dear friend said stent. Now stent in the end said umoja drobeno. And I said they had blood vessels now called the heart and man yes, when your heart failure. Your heart na a muscle. Now muscle na no one na pumping moja but no one so here diane. Now blood vessels na econo. A bin woha. And now say fat deposit omunya active nem any calories body after the nye baby install we say store fat on the lumen of the blood vessels and I say moja drobeno we say na ayina kokodi dem na yesa na esi moja drobeno ti drobeno say na ne kase te say ya we say na so te na yeketoa enti na da bia ne duru bia ne blood pressure no e say e kosoro na etimi pushi moja ne through it. Now, what this man did, and said, yes, some complicated surgeries. A friend says stent. No, they are shame. Let's say a baby moja so that you bet me ama moja na then akum. Now, with that complicated surgery, now it costs so much money. Decided so be steady. Now the study, what they did, and they said they made people sit on a bike, stationary bike, and this is what they realized. Say the success rate of the stent procedure 70% success rate. They were able to reduce their heart conditioning problem by 88%. Cheap, more global and more systemic benefits. You move a the complicated one and yet me saw them be dance here. There's nothing wrong with that. But I think say Nyankopon pesi get to a point whereby we don't have to get to that point. Yes, things happen by no fault ours. We live in a sinful world. But Nyankopon pesi enyoma ye betimi ayabo ye ho ban enne o pese o tre ne hu se o de owo ne nkwa asi anim. Then I will choose. Enne because of technology it is promoting the stagnation. In my clinic, sometimes we catch a patient and say, yes, you are first shift stick. We don't say so or 9.5 crotch. Now what Daniel won't show with cheap. By the time I won't drive on court by no for before them run, or 9 year juma, or come year juma, who saw that year juma, juma. And then because of technology, and they won't chimney beam into a hand movement, no crazy. I wouldn't be. We don't say piasso, and then also back it offer camera and so most of us we have become like robots. Yet we hardly move in any part of our ranges that God has created for us. But the funny thing is that in our brain, yet is that part to be a friend said the homunculus. That part, It is genetically coded and structurally developed by our activity. Near pattern say, the more we use it, the more enhance it. Those parts of our bodies, and I'm saying it is dulling out. Anything that the principle of use it and lose it, but we are losing most of our functions just because of technology. And it's even not now. And not Dr. Tim, example was it, and then my phone and papa for you be na my manayas wedding. And Susan and chain say, so or no be quackofano, no afraid yaman bra. Yaman no be free suraba or fancy is your mammy. Abding. By him say, ensure a jina baby for a coin, a say a bone a water that is stagnant is full of disease, and likewise. Humans that are stagnant are full of diseases. And they say, ensure tie baby. Yatsana Gana de ensure tie baby. I am picture hormone. I had there first and another Jerry war in chancing bathroom. No, since you know Connie and Quanco system through a yardene, a tutor. And it's also nipe biana or won't move no. You become stagnant. And you become full of diseases. That is what happens to you. And yemu bebre, yemu na there, yakuto dena debiya, yansana debiya, yabasana is because when was the last time me work out a move on sanon? When was the last time you work up your knee? When was the last time you work up your trunk? None of them. So sometimes me patient me cancer me say, wako car. Car not on brand new, and likewise, I use that as an example. Yensu onyankopon ma wo tie rubber body. It was fresh from the room, no blemish. But this is what most of us we do. Every car be obeto comes with a manual. And so the gas go at 10,000 a year. And so service, first service A. At 20,000, we have service B. And so we changing oil. And so me say it's a platform. So if there was service in time, do not when your car the service out. What happens to the car? But you see, human invention a car there. I don't think say any of us be quack brand new car. Na baby a car trend is say on for gas in gumuno, on for petrol and as a diesel no, or the suba go. Because he himself, we spend thousands of dollars to buy that. But Yankupon with dear mouth fresh from the room, tear rubber no. Or catcher was send Munsia, was a soda na menum. Or catcher was send Munsia, was a sana menum, Sebionia mini dear enemy nyansa, una unim nyansa, and sometimes we ask ourselves by design, somebody has meticulously made an invention and he's telling you how to keep it, and you say, no, I know better. And what Dr. J, my example said, when God created Adam and Eve in the garden, but God asked them to move and tender it. We don't want to move. We don't want to do anything. Into that group, or say, oh, na mi ko move idea na me chiche. Psalm 1 verse 3. Movement purifies. Or say, it will be like a tree firmly planted by the stream of water, which yields its fruit in its season, and its leaf does not wither, and in whatever he does, he prospers. Who be someone say, I didn't on you to follow, or they onipa etoto. A dear was stream of water. It flows, it purifies, and it provides nourishment for the tree. Anytime we move, anytime we exercise, anytime it provides nourishment for our bodies. Remember this example. In a study, a big study. Nipa omohwe TV for 6 hours per day. They live 5 years less. No be beside who say, na me two how many me TV for 5 hours? Where let me give you this shock. within this US, this statistics, the average person in the US every TV 5 hours a day. The average person in the US. Hippocrates say walking is man's best medicine. Hippocrates says that he's the father of medicine. Or say walking is man's best medicine. Cheap. Also we don't want to work. We will work for our money, but we will never work for our health. We will break our back to go make money. But sometimes if he said, your body in a car now what the driver call Jumano. And it's a servicing so now say oh yes servicing. So when you're servicing of the car now we excuse and they say, oh, me need time. I don't have time. I don't have time. And I'm the car for servicing. Me say, when your time, but that crow car now don't come out me could make it the money. That crow be break it down. At that time, will be your time. And you at that time, you will know the value of servicing. And that is what is like our body. Our body now, you can say work out, me need time. Did ye many time? No, monsieur, many time. And never the social determinants and Dr. Cheka and you don't have time for any of your health. I bet you one of these days, so what Jaria and now will say, yes, you have time for your health. Because that is the vehicle that is making the money now. That is the vehicle that is taking you to and fro. That is the vehicle that is making you happy. If you don't take care of it, one of these days you have time for it. Don't kill yourself making money at the expense of your health. Or say, when the religion of Christ is most held in contempt, when his law is most despised, then should our zeal be the warmest and our courage and firmness be the most and unflinching. God is calling you. Say, take the body now or the amount. Take it seriously. My example here, in the recent study, also physical activity, inactivity is associated with narrowing lumbar intervertebral disc, high fat content of paraspinal muscles, and low back pain and disability. And then, since you are rare, call yes, oh, may your bulging discs or my spine, and it was or see a lot of them. And this is a study 2015 in Arthritis Journal. A lot of them is coming because of inactivity. And then Saturday, we'll discuss some of these things in a whole panel discussion on some of this. You're better discussing into details on Saturday in the afternoon. Now, and never X-ray, MRI, CT scan, and all of this. All this imaging, you have sequestration, you have extrusion, you have all this inactivity is one of the reasons why you move a brain, your discs, elusive fluid, na air body, na air crash. Because we are not moving. We are not exercising to hydrate the disc and keep its length. And Onyamia said, you have to be more active. Now, say, you might be busy with school, work, kids, or you may be in pain or have other priorities. But my question to you is, can you limit your sitting and sleeping and all the things you do in a day to just 23.5 hours? Or 24 hours? Can you limit all of them to just 23.5? Just to be able to maintain that very body now, would they enjoy the 23 hours? Can you do that? Because me person me can't say me. Na me de manusi. E.G. White can't say be in Councils on Diet and Food, or say only one lease of life is granted out, or say and kwamba akupe na onyankopon de amaye. Or say, and the inquiry with everyone should be, how can I invest power so that they may yield the greatest profit? How can I do most for the glory of God and the benefit of my fellow men? For life is only valuable as it is used for the attainments of these ends. Now, of course, the Kasem said, or say, health is a treasure. Of all the temporary possessions, it is the most precious. Me repeat or say, health is a treasure. Of all the temporary possessions, it is the most precious. Or say abaya pomodia, and nyoma ye wo wiasima nyina na ye possessions aye wono. Hey, betima yo kunu, e betima yo ma, e betima. I tell you, all those things are important. E betima yo fie na wusi ogana no, e betima yo car na udemu no. All these things are important, but they are temporary. But of all the temporary nyoma ye wono, health is the biggest treasure. The reason is that se wunni wonkwa, wunni health. Hey, kano ubeto esigara untimi ntwida. Efie no besi untimi enjoy fie no because ye do bakoto manchwe bi. Sika no benya but obi ne beko akoko yi sika no if you person ko bank crap obi ne bedo beko. Of all the temporary possessions we have in this world, health is the greatest treasure. Onyame nhrae, onyame nomye. Ne ye make the adwen say at least in our homes we will serve the Lord, but we will serve also and do digestive works after at least dinner 10 to 15 minutes. Onyame nkan ho no nhrae wonadom pimunti. Amen.
Amen. Dr. Benjamin Opoku Bediako yada sepa eradi o Israel. Enra misien bibi bi hu say or say our health is our wealth, and then so many bibi or say health is a treasure eradi o Israel pa ye brene ko but ye omreka kra bi so bi wo question ana emmoa bi a opese ode eba ye pamochon ekwan da ho ye wo be 11 minutes bi ye be fa bia ebu be 9 minutes ede afa question ene emmo biara obi pese ode eba ansana ya pon jumedi no be pamocho so pese obisa question bia ene de wakasa afa ho no eno na mesro obi bisa afa ho why me pacho mi hu John Donko me pacho brem.
Okay, me that's it. Doc, nyame ejita papa. Send ye kano and sa digestive work on me maintain that.
Okay.
Na down why teach the more pa. Na me pese me hu say wodi di wi a. We ben accident temu sana why sa work ya kan ho asemo.
Okay. Mostly no. Enka emre ne de ense da hia emre. But one of the research initials said most times glucose levels sometimes will be a diabetic. Most time the glucose actually comes and I say digestion happen after 72, I think sir, after a little bit of remember it's about 2 hours. Okay, 72 minutes, I should put it that way. 72 minutes, but say na blood sugar in iodine, abba into it. And most time by the time I was na abwama absorption, but even irrespective of that, so we walking a cramp before that 72 minutes now. It creates what we call the tissue depth. And my comedy tissues, and by the time I sugar and cells are already in need of it until buy an iodine. I check up. And stay in the bloodstream. So yes, you wait to a crap just about 10-15 minutes be. But even because so you can relax for a little bit. But at least, and because the danger is oh, me try kakra is not better than this, know that. So, know that something my professor about that gastric optic reflux. Now, but then you order. Ain't you know? Mostly I tell you, say at least about 10-15 minutes, you can go for your digestive walk.
Patrol me who Mr. and Mrs. Edu Philadelphia and South so move to me and be some question. Oh yeah, you befa any part to Freddie Amon and Ananama. And obi so be said be ewa hana ye de ababy if you say you perceive them reno a year.
Me patrol me that's it. Doc, nyame ensure of you and someone would they am my and rain nyame na so they am my na person booster say is he then will be in the midst of exercise with me 3 months will be now or exercise and I will try here no way a badness and it's me a badness
okay near money badness say sometimes will be or underlying problems that have not been diagnosed. It is sometimes in Sabia obi or what the pan say obi or hypertension. Yeah, make recommendations that person no on concord joggy. So be joggy crampona. One of the a year me skip here say you need what we call graded exposure. Graded exposure and then say we started gradually and build your tolerance in your tissues nutrients. And in some of these comorbidities and I say some of these things are near my be traveling or those blood pressure because once I want until pressure and cost rockra into or elevated blood pressure that and or they call joggy and I say a spike here and a man come on a failure. It is sometimes so some of this underlying and nothing sometimes you make you say annual physicals and some of these things and also we take your blood pressure to say and some of these things are where they were. A lot of times, most of the people don't even know some more. Internet, it comes as a surprise to them. And sometimes, if you have your annual physicals, you'll be able to pick some of these things. But these are the reason why it might be known to me. And so if you're not so person, you're not any concerns. Talk to your primary care physician. They can get the baseline measurements, and then you can move on from there.
But the doctor Patrol, the one say, Obi Diaba say, is jogging better than brisk walking, and then you're similar into Namaka and Sunny for the next.
Basically, and yet one of them is not like you have benefit over the other. It depends on the person and what you want to do. Me personally, I jog. I do sometimes on weekend, I do like about 8 miles in 1.5 hours. It's because I say when I started, me building my tolerance to the point after the me after the 90 and I don't yet me feel it. Your dear friend said VO2 max. And no, as you go on, we say it is the amount of oxygen available to you at a certain threshold. And no, you're according to the technical part of the kakra. But what happened? And they say, well, as you get exercise, no one say, body no expand the amount more after the way 10 minutes and I say, and so we say not wow, no, we say increasing kakra, and one so shall I say, I want to be doing we say walking not turn into what jogging because now you've developed the tolerance because we say one antenna crowd won't say why you baby. This are way more. And one of them in terms of jogging anyway, say mostly you can say nipa and working within what do you call say their target heart rate. We'll get to that point. But before the target heart rate in those and only a more advanced level, at least start with what do you and whether I say jogging and I say we any better than the other, it depends on who is working on it. But so when shall say just start with the digestive work. We can start from there and we can build up.
The part of Freddie Amo obey to me edo question about.
Pacho wote menga.
Pacho.
Pacho medawasi pa doctor me nra na me shasi e follow ade no mani age ho pa. Nyame Islam. Na the way I'm blending English no ne ye kasa no. I'm so impressed. Na me question me say ade we na mo ye no recordings no wo ho. This will be here say sa message ya wo dia na ebia me present kaminya ni nyina kwan ben so na me fa me nsa beka because nyema mo ye hu se e wo ya wie no hu so tutra ne ma be mi nsa bi Many boss nanka many jehumpa, but one can't want them. This will be pay some information in Pam Benson or Befa Obinia.
Okay, open your say your media are for the air wire to work on getting all those available. And more also, so call your media the media supporters and it is our Taibo Yonkodoradio era one way saying or my recording on YouTube. Yes, we are creating a YouTuber here. You say media for a boy to get all those things into be making it available. And me say actually so here, whatever support be out here no, we also get you all those ones. Like that part I'm skipping and Yami Adma Sabbath, you become Wasem. Sabbath afternoon. We have a whole lot of time around that time. Amen.
Epacho nanama ubetimi ebisa question.
Epacho okay. Yeah, my question is Dr. Edas, Nyame Shira mo pa ne dwumadi a model boy. Na my question is exercise na mo kan. Obo on mo o taking an exercise anopa. Ansa na akwa adwuma obo so a oye na nwumre. Enti say see no na me say bia nipa na ye adwuma the whole day until at least just like oye no full time no until oye na exercise no anopa no a.
Yeah.
And this is where
there's no problem with it. There are days me call jog in the morning. So days I'm working late in the morning. No, like probably I'm starting to work at 10. No, me done tema, and that is why sleeping on. Me done tema. Me sorry. At least by 6, I'm able to do my run in the morning. No, at least for an hour, and still be able to prepare breakfast and then before I go to work. And then the point and then say, and upon any way say it depends on work schedule. Any the way it's here, and most times even on a panel, sometimes most people are very energetic. I mean, first went to me on a part for the sake of time anyway. Say now, but say you know, we can know our bread, or we are to a boy, Jumaya, or double our bread. Just do your digestive work. At least that will help. But your YouTube link, let me say, Dr. Hannah Abba Modern, they are too hard on the chat, to wait marry. But on a partner say is still fine. The other nitty-gritties of it, we'll discuss that later.
That's you, that's it.
Pamchoye Brenity, Yentini Phobia, but Mary don't consult so Moses Solomon Swaba, Omieno Ekas. Dr. Pacho say, okay.
I omumienu yes, we can take
you omumienu via and one on 80 Pacho, Mary don't call, ubeti me ama o question or akoso.
Yo. Some dancing. Dr. Epan made that because I really love your presentation. Then be a meta presentation. Now, question is exercise. I like exercise. Actually, I don't have any underlying condition, but I like exercise. I mean, person me quite one thing. Me Zumba walk on YouTube. Me me living room.
Yeah.
Have one thing and now we in fear and I still okay and I mean no so and I bet for business maybe you feel a little hungry maybe a while a little smoothies be animal so let's say digestive work no maybe at the class I would even go one thing with me and until we living room for about 10 to 15 minutes that work and
me that's a pa. Yeah, walk room here, winter bad to say what is the idea. Snow no to me call. But the ones that make us a make a baby to say will be what 15 sit to stand in 30 seconds. So what try will be the effect of it. Maybe later on, the statistics, baby. Ideally, so be the age of about 50 and going. That's all your bar. They need to be able to make 96 steps in 2 minutes. So general say no market timer. 96 steps in 2 minutes. What do you try? We want how it affects your heart rate. And sometimes I tell people say you don't necessarily have to go out. Say whether anyway say now yes, you can still get the same effect, whilst even in your living room. You will be able to see anywhere. You walk quite a bit around. I climb the stairs and I up and down. I climb up. You bit me using it. You don't necessarily have to go out. Internet say if staying indoors no bit me like the Zumba now kind you can just do. I've seen people who do Zumba and get things even working that way.
Epacho Solomon.
Yo, Doc, thank you very much. Such a fantastic presentation. But my question, the question is exercise no. Me adwuma wo Walmart. Na me kwa nante nko me pege nyoma ekosoro na makoto na nante akwa I don't know. So my time because of say adwuma na my busy ewo so ana ewo ho no. Does it really make any difference than doing exercise? I think that is also an exercise, right? So,
all right.
And yet that if that is not the point, what is the difference between a nanti ni peja and can you feel me peja and nema kosoro na me peja before the same peja na me Walmart no? Does it have any difference?
Okay, I think that when Mami Abigail put a question on the chat, and I think that the two of them are the same. One of the things Medica can say, Mr. Solomon, and I will make it very nice submission be on the chat, man. But work is not workout. But work is not workout. The point in this is, remember, there's a mind, body, spirit connection whenever you have to do an exercise or workout. Maybe time the physiological implications and how these things work out. But the stresses at work, is not the same stresses you do when you actually have to work out. Most times, the workout is a maintenance thing. Where a use. But what I say? The difference, one of the basic difference, and then say, yes, it keep you physically active anyway, but bear in mind they say you are utilizing it. Who utilize it? Build it up. And my remember another example, say me fan say like lifting your man. Who say at some point you realize that back muscles anyway, sometimes, and then that's another detail problem, and I can say me the back. And he said, lifting we say anyway, and meaning say who use back muscles, you're losing your quads depending on your lifting mechanics that we use. The point, and then he said, how many times have you been able to build the lower back muscles for the lifting that way? So what say Uncrofonia work injury, the workers' company we say. Wouldn't say initially your boy mama pain in the back from nowhere. We go what we call work hardening. Work hardening, you take you through the same work scenario and build them up so that they can function very well using that same. But you realize and only yet a juma, but and only a treatment. So there's a whole physiological component that goes into it. And for instance, like you say, left, you need to build that back muscles. And send left here. Muscles are already ready. They've been, I'm gonna go to there and say simulation. Oh, meet me. And sometimes, yes, would you know only way say but you need to dedicate time for the maintenance work, Send a bell jumana. So for 10 hours. Muscles are ready enough to stand for 10 hours. But in the work environment, who you see here, you didn't build it up. Meaning, Matima answer question now. Okay. All right.
Yo, any doctor, that's a pa, a radio show. Go topic he air the pa and so a bread and a juma. Where the mefa kwenye akache na say, you don't want to miss the rest of the days. It's say, health department for our programs, a whole P. Debia one day or china so pesa wutia. You're starting of 7:45 near baby around 9 or chance so your topic. Come ya tuni or say diet and achieving or maintaining a healthy weight. Send ya build a foundation, yet was so quiet, and also your doctor be and a debe my so pesa who Dr. Crab me pese or china ube balance so ube huno. And not see Adama say. And then you may become who you made an ayed de ye benyan kayam pon and so a bread any day juma. And with the munina say, Major Hanum ama doctor. Now what was Yadamasi?
Okay. I ready for Mumai and I see a trust in the Empire. Our Lord and Master Jesus, we thank you very much for today. We give you praise, we adore you. We bless your holy name for this wonderful opportunity to learn. And maybe I be ban old boy me suanioma. Now what you are boy me suanioma who do be brave. And maybe no, the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. Emra ye adwen si yepesi etu anamo e betimi ama yampomode akọ animu. Ni etimi anya the mental clarity to discern between what is good and evil no. Obonsam no won pay ye. Eka ononko kede bia nanka ye yare. Nke eka ononko de bia nanka ye si apene we are constantly in pain. Ready? So bonsam na fa kwan bi so pese o say ya. What some extra say, if the devil come to us one way, you will cause him to flee from us in 7 different ways. May that promise come into our life in Jesus' name. Yes, as Sarah will say, rather. Ye free when him, ye free when him. What do no home and kind home. So be way more yare, no in pain, and I say we are. Father, please, may you use the balm of Gilead to touch that person. And may at the end of this week, may we encounter you. May we be blessed. And may your spirit lead us to make decisive steps that will help us to have health and have it in abundance. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Recording stopped.